What's up, RotoBallers? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jorden Hill, and today we're going to be discussing running back rankings for 2023 fantasy football drafts. Now, I've already went over the top fantasy quarterbacks for this season, so if you haven't seen that video yet, be sure to check it out. Diving right in, at number 12, we have Naji Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, there's no way around it. Harris was disappointing for fantasy last year. Once the Steelers came back from the bye, he was the RB5 in half PPR from week 10 on, so I think Harris started to put it together and look like his old self. Going into this season, I think we can expect Kenny Pickett to take a step up in year 2, and the Steelers' offense as a whole should be improved. Coming in at number 11, we have Joe Mixon of the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a guy that's been a top 10 fantasy running back in each of the past 2 seasons, and you might be surprised to learn that Mixon actually had 75 targets last year and 60 receptions, even though he really isn't thought of amongst the premier pass-catching running backs in the league. He performed as one, and this season, the Bengals don't have Samaje Perine back there to take some of the third down work. There's still some time for Cincinnati to bring in somebody else, but with how explosive the Bengals offense should be, there's just tremendous upside with Mixon. Kicking off our top 10 is Rashod Stevenson, and yes, New England did just sign Ezekiel Elliott, but I don't think we have all that much to be concerned about. I mean, Zeke is coming off by far the least efficient season of his career, whereas Stevenson, I think it's pretty obvious he's still going to be the lead back. He's just the much better player at this point. Stevenson put up 69 receptions on 88 targets last year, and we think that even if he loses some work to Zeke on the ground, that he can make up for it with the Patriots, improving a bit on offense now that Bill O'Brien is calling the shots as OC. At number 9, we have Josh Jacobs of the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think it goes without saying that if it weren't for contract disputes, Jacobs would be much higher on this list. Now, I don't think anybody expects him to sit out a large portion of the season, but I think it's still fair to be a little bit concerned. If you're okay with taking on some risk, Jacobs looks like a home run pick right now. He's coming off of an unbelievable season and absolutely has the talent to put up another 2,000 scrimmage yards and 10 plus touchdowns. Coming in at number 8, we have King Henry himself, Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. He's 29 years old. People have been calling for his fall off for years now. We'll believe it when we see it. I mean, this guy has 6 straight seasons of double-digit touchdowns. That includes 2021, where he only played 8 games. Last year, he had 1,500 rushing yards. Of course, the Titans brought in DeAndre Hopkins this offseason, and I actually think this could be good for Henry if the offense is a little bit more dynamic. If he stays healthy for all 17 games, he's a lock to finish top 10. At number 7, it's Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts. Similar vibes to Josh Jacobs here. Hopefully he gets back out there and suits up in week 1. You might also have some concerns with rookie Anthony Richardson coming in at quarterback, but just keep in mind that in 2021, the Colts had Carson Wentz under center, and Taylor showed his real upside with 1,800 rushing yards and 20 total touchdowns. It might be a little scary right now, but if his ADP continues to fall, it's going to be really difficult to pass on Taylor. Coming in at number 6, we have Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys. Last year, Pollard finished as the RB8, and that was with Ezekiel Elliott taking almost 250 touches. We have Elliott out of town, and the Cowboys have surprisingly done very little to replace him. Dallas is expected to slow things down a little bit this year with Brian Schottenheimer coming in at OC, but Pollard should be awesome as the lead guy, and he's one of the few backs that has true RB1 overall upside. Starting off our top 5 is rookie sensation Bijon Robinson. The Falcons used the 8th overall pick to select Bijon back in April, which is something you really don't see at all with the running back position anymore, so we can expect Robinson to get a ton of work right out of the gate, both as a runner and a receiver. We do have him a little bit below his ADP, where he comes in at around RB3, but as you'll see, the guys we have ahead of him are just more proven commodities on likely better offenses. Still, we think the excitement is warranted. Bijan could be a really special player. Coming in at number 4, we have Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. What a return to form it was for Barkley in 2022 when he finishes the RB6 in 16 games. I think it's possible that the Giants take another step forward this year in year 2 with Brian Daboll as head coach, so Barkley just feels like a really safe pick as a top 5 running back. Moving into the top 3, we have the Cleveland Browns' Nick Chubb. Chubb has finished as an RB1 for 4 straight seasons. He's always incredibly efficient. He's not known for his pass-catching abilities, but he's also never really been given the opportunity. That opportunity could be there for him in 2023 with Kareem Hunt off the team, so if the Browns choose to deploy him as a 3-down running back and he unlocks that part of his game, he has real league-winning potential. At number 2, we have last season's RB1, Austin Ekeler of the Los Angeles Chargers. Ekeler may be 28 years old, but he actually doesn't have a ton of mileage on him. The offense should be improved this year with Kellen Moore coming in at OC, so even if Ekeler doesn't repeat the 18 touchdowns that he scored last year, he's locked and loaded as a first-round pick in half and full PPR formats. At the top of our 2023 fantasy running back rankings, to no surprise, it's Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers. Whether it was in Carolina with Baker Mayfield at quarterback or in San Francisco with Brock Purdy, McCaffrey's a fantasy cheat code anytime he's on the field. You know what you're getting with McCaffrey, assuming he plays 17 games, and no one would bat an eye at you if you took him with the first overall pick in your fantasy draft. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please remember to like and subscribe to RotoBaller, as we'll be putting out a lot of great fantasy content as we approach the regular season. Thanks again for tuning in, and see you soon for our wide receiver rankings.